Good morning. Good morning. I am here. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I am here. Hey, morning, Ramen. Nah, I don't have a wasting disease. Uh, it has been okay, Spanky. You don't have to stare at me like that. You're used to me talking to myself, or at least what appears to be talking to myself. Yes. Our dog has been Spanky's been really acting strange past couple of days. I don't know what his problem is, but maybe it's just cooler weather. I don't know. But yeah, shut the air off last night and opened up a couple of windows in the house, and it actually got cold. I mean, I turned on my electric blanket before I go to bed, and then when I go to bed, I shut it off. I've always hated a cold mattress. When I was a kid, my grandmother and I'd go to my grandmother's house. Couldn't do it at our house, but I could do it at my grandmother's house. She had these. She called them bed bricks uh, that you'd put in the oven or in the fireplace to warm up, and then you'd take them and put them in your bed, and they would warm up the mattress and the sheets and blankets so that when you crawled into bed, it was already nice and warm for you. And that's what I loved. Well, my uh, we didn't have them at my house, but at my grandmother's house we did, and it was amazing to be able to crawl into a warm bed at night, especially in the wintertime in Ohio. That was just so much, so nice, such a pleasure. But anyway, the weekends, as usual, this was the No Kings weekend, the March. Yeah. You're right about that, Ramen. I mean, these things are nothing new. They've had them around forever. Uh, but yeah, you'd warm them up and put them in your bed. You didn't want to get them too hot because they'd set your bed on fire. So you just warm them up nice and warm, and put them in your bed before you went to bed. And they'd warm you up. But they all, they had the foot warmer ones too. So I get, these No King's March. They seem to forget that at one time, Obama was mad that he couldn't get something through Congress. And the media the media doesn't play this, and they really should because it's
I'm going to be working with Congress where I can to accomplish this. But I'm also going to act on my own if Congress is deadlocked. I've got a pen to take executive actions where Congress won't, and I've got a telephone to rally folks around the country on this mission. I'm going to
I've got a pen and I've got a phone. If I can't, the Democrats, if they want to say somebody was acting like a king, right there it is, Obama. I will. I've got a pen and I've got, and that's exactly what he was proclaiming himself able to do there. If anybody was acting like a king, it was him. Remember, he was talking about a Republican Congress and what he couldn't get done by a Republic through a Republican Congress, he was going to get done in other ways. Obama was infamous for his executive orders. Um, let's see here. Barack Obama had 276 executive orders. Trump, in his first term, had 220. So far this term, he's had 209. But Joe Biden was kind of weak. He only issued 160 executive orders. So Trump is acting no more like a king than Obama did or George Bush, either one, H or W, or Bill Clinton. These guys, what they don't like is Trump is sending people out to actually enforce laws that are on the books. What they don't like is, and it's their own fault on this, that they are, because they are ramming ICE vehicles, locking them in, blocking them in where they can, they're attempting to block their vehicles into where they can't leave. They've rammed them. They've thrown rocks at them. They've doxed them. They've gone to their homes, stood in front of their house live streaming, announcing where they live. And unfortunately, the social media sites allowed that to happen. Oh, sure, they eventually took it down, shut off the live stream. But by that time, that stream had been seen by, hundreds, if not thousands of people. I always love how the left wants to proclaim the Republicans are so violent. Yet there is not any counter protesting to speak of all weekend long of these massive no kings. There's a few people out there doing it, doing their thing, one or two. Very small groups in isolated areas. People going out and live streaming, asking questions. Hey, What has Trump done? And it's been funny to watch the non-response. I do believe I may have uh, I do believe I may have re posted some of the okay, here we go. Here's one. Dot, dot, dot. This was taken at the hey, morning data. This was one of the guys.
Trump's a bitch.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. He's just, we don't like him. That's the word around here.
Any particular reason why you don't like him?
No clue at all. I'm just going with everybody else saying. Trump's a bitch.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. He's just, we don't like him. That's the word around here.
Any particular reason why you don't like him?
No clue at all. I'm just going with everybody else saying.
I'm just saying it because all my friends are saying it. And
Trump's a bitch.
And I
Yeah, why
don't
is that?
want to
I
be
don't know.
left out. And I don't want to be left out. All my friends are saying Trump's a bitch. So if they're saying this, got to be true. I don't know why they're saying it. Don't care why they're saying it. But they're saying it. I think this is another one. Let me see if this is right. No, that's not. That's a different one. That's a different issue that I will get to. It's a shame you can't tell Nancy Pelosi that when Nancy Pelosi can't be distinguishable from. Yeah, that's not it. Okay, yeah, that's all. That's all I reposted was that idiot. Um, but I mean, if they want to talk about violent people, people getting violent here, let's show this guy here. Whoops, I don't want that. No clue at all, huh? Yeah, I know. I'm having a rough time talking this morning.
You gotta grab a gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out. The state machine.
These ICE agents you've got to get a gun. These ICE agents have got to get shot and wiped out. But the Democrats are the party of peace. The Republicans are the violent ones. And, yeah, I've heard some people, when talking about the gun debate, saying, the reason why Democrats want to get rid of guns is because their own party, their own supporters are so violent. Okay, let's see here. Now, supposedly, this next video here, this is in Houston. I cannot vouch for this exactly, but supposedly the Austin chief of police was marching in the No Kings protest.
We got the Austin chief of police out here walking with the protesters today. I tell you what, it sure is nice to see that. We all know why it is the way it is in Austin.
Now, there's several police officers in uniform walking along here. Now, my guess is that they're walking along to show a police presence to prevent interactions, violent interactions between the crowds and the marchers. That would be my guess. And that she and those walking along there are not signaling a political opinion. Reminds me of Mister. You got to go in it. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. That character there. So my guess is that she and these cops are not doing a political statement with what they're. But like I said, that's my guess that they're out there just doing that. There's that kid. Now, this was after one of the marches in Portland. And this guy here was doing his man on the street type stuff. And this is what he found in Portland.
Behind me is a man's body that's been here for several hours. We've watched hundreds of people walk by and not even notice. We called 911, but still there's no response. So right in front of me is a dead body. Clutching in his left hand is foil. So this is very clearly a fentanyl overdose. What's also really crazy is hundreds of people have walked by the last hour because we're waiting on emergency services and they've yet to show. And so this person has been completely motionless.
They called 911 about a dead man laying in the street on a sidewalk. And it's taken over an hour for emergency services to show up. Just another dead body laying out here in the streets of on the sidewalks of Portland. Something they're used to.
And it's like literally nobody has noticed. This is just another tragic death on the streets of Portland, which in my opinion could have been prevented.
Now it takes a few hours for rigor mortis to set in. This guy's in rigor. And nobody, and they just don't show up. And of course, the government now supposedly the rumor was, and I talked about this rumor a little bit on Friday. The rumor was that the Democrats will end the government shutdown early this week, now that the No Kings protest is over. Because Schumer didn't want to go into the weekend having compromised, and I'm using compromise in quotations, and got the Democrats to vote to reopen the government before all these protesters. That way, he wouldn't be a subject matter, and calls for him to be primaried. Because there's a lot of people out there this weekend. Now, I didn't go in town other than what I usually do, which is at night on Saturday night. So I didn't see any protesters. And we had my grandson's birthday party Saturday morning. So we were out at my my son's in-laws place, having a birthday party all Saturday afternoon, starting at noon. So we didn't go anywhere where there would be any protesters. I imagine there was a half a dozen or so, or a dozen in a couple of places. Because, we do have some liberals here. We do have some Democrats. We got some silly ones that like to walk around and shout no kings. Well, what's funny is there is no kings protests around the world. And that includes Canada and, of course, England. And Canada and England both have kings. King Charles. Which, if and they're sitting there and they're yelling, no kings, no kings. But here's Mark Carney. Let's see.
I, Mark Carney, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors.
The King of Canada. But Canada's having no king's protest. Meanwhile, their government is swearing allegiance to a king. Hey, Paul, good morning. Ironic. No king's protests in Canada, but their government is swearing allegiance to a king. No king's protests in England. But the King of England was seriously considering, or did just make a huge political move within the past couple of weeks. So, yeah, you want to talk about these people make no sense. They really truly don't. How can you swear no kings when your country is ran by a king? Eh, And if you and as to the idea, here's two different children. One whose parents obviously are quite liberal, and this is what they have them out here doing. That is a child. They've got him out there protesting and stabbing at an effigy of our president. And meanwhile, here's another child and what their parents have her doing.
The tap up by your clouds. Higher. Go on the other side.
Who is Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk is a political conservative who had debates with fellow voters and people from colleges on their campuses. He is a Republican Christian man. He had a wife, Erica Kirk, and 2 young kids. On Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, Charlie was brutally murdered and shot by Tyler Robinson in Utah. He was 31, but he is now at the feet of Jesus. Rest in peace, Charlie. What are some difficulties Charlie faced? As Charlie mobilized young conservatives on college campuses, he faced numerous personal...
Two different ways of raising children.
Last October, police in Tempe, Arizona, arrested a man who
Two
made
different
armed
ways.
threats towards Charlie. On Thursday,
One
September
teaching the
11th,
kid violence,
Charlie struck
another one
assassination.
teaching a kid
Turning Point USA
not to be violent. But when you have people like this woman in our school systems, what do you expect? I'm not going to show the video, but there is a TPUSA, and she walks out in front of them or alongside of them, yelling about Charlie Kirk being shot and making that motion with her hands, not just once but several times. But that's an example of what the left was doing this weekend versus what some conservatives were doing. The no kid. Oh, once again, I don't understand how anybody with a rational mind can proclaim that conservatives, that Republicans are the violent ones. I really and truly don't. They do. It's their proclamations. So I'm going to stop sharing that and let's see here. What else? Now there's some fun stuff that happened this weekend too. Oh, before I get to that, let me show a little bit of hypocrisy. And surprise, I was actually surprised though by it was NBC showing this.
You know, Senator, back in 2019, you made a similar argument during that shutdown that Republicans are making now. Republicans at the time were asking for more funding for a border wall. You said, let's reopen the government first. I want to play a little bit of what you had to say.
We first should reopen government. Why punish people who are applying for food stamps because the president is having a temper tantrum? Open government first.
So, Senator, by your own logic, should Democrats not vote to reopen the government first and negotiate later?
Kristen, here's what's different now. The president told the Republicans to write this budget without any Democratic involvement.
You know, Senator, back in 2019, you made a similar argument during that shutdown.
Messed up with the camera. But anyway, now, like I said, though, there's some fun stuff. I found a funny thing that happened this weekend. And I sort of, this man, him and I could be friends. This man, him and I could be friends with no problem.
Can you try the Black Death Mega Sour and see how long you can keep it in your mouth for? Honest, my mouth is already salivating. Black Death Mega Sour. Never heard of them, but I shall go and find some.
I've got some of these Black Death Mega Sours. I got them. So I know what this man is in for. Because I like sour things. And since my wife isn't here, I could say that's one of the things I like about her.
Retweet.
Got my Black Death, whatever they are. Mega Sour.
Yum.
So what have I got to do with these bad boys? Just put one in my mouth.
And suck it.
So I start with one or two?
One.
One.
Go.
How long I can, yeah?
Yep.
What he is about to experience is the facial expressions this man makes. I imagine I made pretty much the same ones the first time I tried one of these.
Is it bad? Is it bad?
And that is my wife laughing at me when I did this.
Is it bad? What is that noise? Oh, you're doing well. You got to keep it in there. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I've got so much saliva.
Are you okay?
Your mouth fills with saliva.
Oh, back.
Is it easing off now?
You're not fucking around.
Your eyes. Oh my god. Is it still sour?
Yeah, because I haven't licked the bottom there.
Mate, chew back a dinosaur. Is it easing now?
Yeah.
What's it taste like?
It's actually quite nice now. It's like fruity now. But I licked the top and then I spun it all around and it's sour again.
It was what?
Yes, it's not just over and done. It continues to hit.
Past that.
You're so red. Right. Now you need to put 2 in.
Okay. Right, here's for shits and giggles. I'm going to do 2 of the bad boys.
Well, you would love this. Now, I never did too.
Why are you banging your face?
I know what this thing did to me on using just one.
Don't cover your face.
I wasn't brave enough to try two.
Oh, oh. Bad!
And he put the second one back in.
So sour!
That was absolutely, yes, I remember those. I think I've still got a couple stashed somewhere that I'd put in my pill cutter and cut them so that they would last a little bit. The pain wouldn't last so long because oh God, they absolutely, your mouth fills with so much saliva on that when you take that whole thing. So Paul, you can order them off of Amazon, which is what I did. So if you like sour, believe me, and if you're not against recording yourself, record yourself. Share the video. I'll post it. I'll let everybody see you do it. Because the things are amazingly sour. They're absolutely the sourest things I've ever done. Since won't do a reveal, I will not do one of myself doing it. At best, I'll do an audio recording and let you listen to it. But man, I'm telling you, those things, I do not know if there's anything more sour that you can order, a more sour candy. But they are absolutely and totally amazing. Okay, let's see. What else do I got? That's it for that. Let me close that tab. Okay, I've got to find this other video here just to be on the safe side because I know I don't have it on my computer anymore. Nancy Pelosi. And let's see here, find the videos. Okay, this should be it here. Well, I can understand why they put commercials. Okay, here we go. Now, here is a video from this video here was taken shortly after January 6th. and it was taken by Nancy Pelosi's daughter.
Time that the members ask, are we prepared? Are we prepared? We're not prepared for the worst. We're calling the National Guard now. Should have been here to start out. Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient
No,
resources.
there's not a question of how they have, they don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more. Because it's stupid.
Scott McFarland.
Okay, I mean, right there, Nancy Pelosi.
No, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more. Because it's
Okay, that was her shortly after January 6th. Okay? This is Nancy Pelosi this past weekend.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you. Congresswoman Pelosi.
That was Pelosi this weekend. I keep hitting the wrong stupid button. It's been 5 years. Well, 4 years. It's been 4 years. Pelosi is no longer, she wasn't mentally sharp then. She is even worse now. There's a video of her and during this No Kings trying to snap a crown, a little plastic crown. And she couldn't do it. They had to do a jump cut where somebody else had broken the crown, then had her hold it and then act as if she snapped it. And as much as I dislike Nancy Pelosi's career in politics and everything she's done in politics, much like Obama, I may not like what you have done, but I can't hate on you for your current physical condition and mental conditions. And Pelosi, if there was a 25th Amendment for members of Congress, Pelosi would be 25th. That's all there is to it. She is mentally ill. She's not mentally all there anymore, let alone physically. She is no longer mentally or physically there. And yes, I do have sympathy for the woman. But that's what we've got to look at right now. We've got members of Congress that are they're just too old. I mean, McConnell. McConnell is there, and she I mean, what more can you say? McConnell just simply, and Pelosi and everybody else. You know, these people that are too old. Why do they keep getting elected into office? Because they've got that D or that R behind their names. They've got you know, their empires built to where until they resign or die, they are not going to leave office. That's all there is to it. That video is for later. You know, it's like this Megan Winsfield out of Kentucky running for office wearing that F Ice shirt that I showed you last week. There's, I mean, there's still questions being asked about ballots. Maine, there was 250 state election ballots found in an Amazon package. They got no clue, or rather, they're saying they've got no clue, or they're refusing to answer questions about how that happened. This, you know, a woman got 250 state election ballots inside of her Amazon package. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, Paul, you're right. They do need to be primaried, but who's going to run against McConnell and have a chance? Who's going to run against Pelosi and have a chance? Because sadly, there are people that will vote for him regardless. Now, to be honest, and I've said before, I will, if I'm given a choice between a Republican and a Democrat, I don't care how bad that Republican is, I'm going to vote for him over any Democrat. Now, under the current political, 30 years ago, I voted for Democrats. 30, 40 years ago, I voted for Democrats. Because there were some Democrats who were much better for the office than the Republican was. But the Democrats have gone so wacky batty, so far out into left field that simply for numbers, I won't vote for them. I do not want to see the Democrats ever to have control of the House or Senate again until they get rid of the left-wing extremists in their party. We can't who would have thought that in 25 years after 9/11 that New York City would seriously consider voting for a socialist Muslim to be its mayor? Who would ever think that would happen? The same city that refused to allow a mosque to be opened within a couple hundred yards of the tower site that everybody was out protesting about it, Republicans and Democrats. That they're now electing a Muslim, a radical left-wing communist Muslim, to be its mayor. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, there are people out there accusing him of hanging around a unindicted co-conspirator of 9/11. The guy was never charged. And if you're never actually charged with the crime, you're innocent of it. If they don't even have enough evidence to charge you with the crime, let alone bring it up before a grand jury or bring it into trial, the very basic evidence, then you're not guilty of whatever crime they're saying you're a co-conspirator of. I know. What the hell is this? Shroom is supporting a Muslim. No, I'm supporting the law. I'm supporting the way American jurisprudence should work. The government shouldn't be sitting there bad-mouthing a person, saying they were involved in something when there's not enough evidence to even bring a charge against them, let alone take it before a grand jury or take it to a trial and put it before a judge and put it before a jury. So that doesn't mean that I'm supporting him. I'm not. I'm just supporting the rule of law. Yeah, well, see, don't forget, Paul, though, the guy that AOC won the primary against, he never even went out and did any electioneering. He thought he was safe, that there is no way he could be primaried. So he just sat in his office. He didn't do anything. He was being lazy. He thought he was untouchable. So I mean, that was I mean, that wasn't something that you can sit there and say that he he was primaried, but it was his own fault because he didn't get out and do anything. Plus, remember, AOC, she ran for the office, but she was auditioned by a Soros-funded group. They were taking auditions to see who they could run. So she just didn't decide she was going to go get in politics and then build her own grassroots. There was somebody already out there with the money and the backing of Soros to get it done. Okay, something. Oh, it's my other headsets that died. I forgot to charge one of my headsets last night. It looks like so. Yeah, well, those are charged. So I made a mistake and didn't charge one of my headsets. I thought I put them on the charger, but I didn't. It is what it is. So let me see. Supposedly these here are working. I'll find out here in a moment. I hate wearing two set of headsets, but sometimes you do what you got to do. There we go. Y'all don't need to hear the sounds my phone's making right now. At night you can get Star Search number. Oh, okay. You talking about getting the halos around headlights and such there, Data? Yeah, I've been, I get that. My eye doctor said that it's not worthwhile working on it right now. But then he's also trying to retire, so, and he can't find anybody to buy his business. I did learn something with my last eye appointment. I mean, I pay a $35 copay for my eye visits. Now I've been seeing the same eye doctor now for, oh God, about 25 years. And he's starting to have his own health issues to where he wants to retire. And for him to sell his business, he can't sell it. Nobody wants to buy it because in order for him to make any money, you have to buy a new pair of glasses. He only gets paid like $80 or $85 total per patient for an eye exam. And out of that, he's got to pay his rent. He's got to pay his 2 employees. And of course, his insurances and all this other good stuff. Because I pay a $35 copay, and he gets that $50 from the insurance company. That's not enough to build a practice on, to keep a practice. And there's some patients that get in there to see him that he literally loses money on. It costs him money to see these people. He gets no copay and like $25. So, I mean, he's losing money when he sees them. Let's see, had MRI. Oh, I wanted to get that laser surgery, the LASIK done, but because I got stigmatism, they can't fix it. I've got severe stigmatism. In both eyes. And they can't fix either one. So there's no sense in getting LASIK done if I still got to wear glasses because of the stigmatism. That's just not even it. Uh, PBS is running out of money. With the government shut down and everything, PBS, NPR, all these people, publicly funded things, they're running out of money now. I know that's I that's the stigmatism is why I had to quit wearing contacts. I wore contacts for quite a few years, but because of the stigmatism, I can't. It got so bad that I couldn't even wear contacts now. It's no longer correctable by even contacts. So it is what it is. I just I just hope my son doesn't ever have to wear glasses. So far he's got 2010 eyesight or 1020, whatever's the better. He can see at 20 feet what other people, or he can see at 20 feet what other people had to be within 10 feet to see. So it's 2010 because the last time they were ever able to measure my eyes, I was at 2600. But other people could see at 600 feet. I had to be within 20 feet to see. So now, Paul, you're right. I mean, I've been wearing glasses since fourth grade. So, you know, I might as well say I've been wearing glasses my whole life. I've been wearing them since fourth grade. And that's what, 11, 12 years old? No. Going to kindergarten when you're 7. Yeah, so that's about 10 or 11 years old when you're going into fourth grade. But anyway, so, what, 50 years wearing glasses? 55 years wearing glasses? It is what it is. I've gotten used to it. I just wish they weren't so stupidly expensive. You can't get glass. You walk in to get glasses and you need $600-700. You need $600 depending on whether or not you've got insurance. And that's not even top of the line glasses. That's just a good solid pair with well, at least for me, for my lenses and everything. Because frames, a decent set of frames is going to run you $200, and then my lenses are $300 a piece. Between $250 and $300, depending on whether or not I get them coated. Which I like to get them scratch coated. Then if you want to really get fancy, you get them transitioned So you don't need to have a second pair of sunglasses, second pair of glasses, have them coated. If you're really getting fancy, you have 3 pair of glasses, or 1 pair that are transition, then 1 pair that are amber coated for driving at night to cut down on that glare that Paul and Data were talking about earlier, that nighttime glare. So you get a pair of glasses coated for night driving. Because we've done that for the wife, gotten her a pair of glasses that are coated for night driving, and that coating was an additional $60 or $70. But yeah, she can't see at night to drive. That was just something we absolutely had to do. Yep. Now, when my boss's father goes overseas, goes to India, I go and get a copy of my prescription and give to him. And he goes and picks up, I give him that and a set of frames. And for $50, he gets me a pair of glasses from India. And I use them as emergency backup glasses. Yeah, they're prescription and they're extremely close to what I need. They're not perfect. They're not a perfect pair of glasses, but they're good enough that I can use them for a pair of backup glasses, which is nice. It's nice having a pair of backup glasses that are in the proper prescription. Okay, there was something else I wanted to show here. And where I know I accidentally closed that tab, but that's stupidity on my part. I do stupid things sometimes, people. Believe it or not, I do do stupid things. Oh, have y'all heard about that woman, a DoorDasher? Oh God, this was all over the internet this weekend. Turns out, background on this woman, supposedly. I'm doing a lot of supposeds here, okay, guys? Because what I don't know for 100% to be a fact, I'm going to say supposed. Supposedly, this woman, a DoorDash deliverer, who is a lesbian feminist, according to her social media profiles. All right. She went to deliver DoorDash to a house that on the instructions it said leave at the door. Now, on her original video, which got taken down, she said that the door was not fully closed. And she opened the door to announce that she was there with the DoorDash, with the man's food, or rather with the food that was ordered for that house. She opened the door and she looked in and she looked around the corner to see a guy sleeping on a couch, nude from the waist down. So this woman decided that she would get out her cell phone and record this guy sleeping on his couch in his house, semi-nude. She then called or whatever, contacted DoorDash to tell them that she saw a naked guy when she was making a delivery. Not that she opened the door to the house and saw a naked guy. Yes, Raman, reading is fundamental. You follow instructions. Well, she then went to social media and posted about it and posted the video that she took of the naked guy. Half naked guy sleeping on the couch in his own home. He wasn't up dancing around, waving his junk in her face. Oh, Data, you must know the story. He didn't come to the door naked. He didn't have a heart on and was masturbating. He was asleep on his couch. Well, DoorDash immediately suspended his account. So he can't order from DoorDash anymore. And so now here's a supposedly. Supposedly, after DoorDash found out that she had posted the video of him asleep, they suspended her account. Well, in the meanwhile, the social media sites took her videos down. So she reposted it, but this time didn't say anything about opening the door. Now, according to her, the door is wide open. And she is now claiming that she has been sexually assaulted by this semi-naked guy asleep on his couch. That she now says the door is fully open and the couch was in a position that she could see it without having to stick her head in the house. Different story from the first video. And she is now claiming that she is sexually assaulted. Well, that video was taken down. So she's now posted a third video with a third version of what happened and screaming that she's been sexually assaulted. So I'm going to go back now. Now, this gentleman, this poor SOB that was asleep on the couch, they know what city, she's told him what city she's in and what delivery she was making. So it's and enough information to where the guy's been identified. So the guy evidently, supposedly, has now filed a lawsuit against her for illegally recording him in a compromising position, which is a felony, posting that video, that recording of him on the internet, which is also a felony. He's been in contact with the police, and he is wanting her charged criminally for invading his privacy, recording him without his permission, and posting it to the internet. 2 felonies and a misdemeanor. DoorDash did themselves a favor by suspending her account, because that helps alleviate them being sued, because she was in their employ at the time that it happened. So they've done saved themselves a bit. Yeah, Penthouse letters. You're right, Data. Got does Penthouse even exist anymore? That's a $1 million question. Does Penthouse even exist anymore? You're exact. That's one of the questions there, Raman. Is this going to fall under revenge porn? It's going to depend on which state laws, how the state laws read, as to whether or not it's going to count as revenge porn. That is way beyond my that's going to have to go to the lawyers and the judges and everybody else. I'm not even going to go there with it, because I honestly don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, but again, you never know what's happening when. I have not seen convenience stores no longer sell, at least the convenience stores I go into no longer have behind the counter the Penthouse and Playboy and Hustler magazines like they used to years ago. Back when I worked convenience stores, we had them all behind the counter in the plastic bag with the black stripe across them, where all you could see was the title, or it was in a black plastic bag, and the title of the magazine was in the front. So, yeah, that like I said, though, that's I don't know if they still have those or not, if they're in convenience stores. And and again, it's been 30 years, 30, 40 years since I've been into a adult shop. Remember, I walked into one time by accident. We were just going down the street, and oh, that's a cool. Wonder what they sell here. Opened up the door and walked in, and oh my God, the stuff that they had for sale in that store. Oh, it's a member site now? Okay. Well, I mean, porn, if you've got a smartphone, which very few people have flip phones anymore, if you've got a smartphone, you got access to all the porn you want. No, nobody's buying Penthouse or Playboy anymore, except for the old ones that, the collector ones. And there are a few of those that are collectible out there. But anyhow, let's see. What else was out there that was good news this weekend? Uh I talked about that already. Um School district in Scottsdale, Arizona. We have got to get control of the teachers. We've this. My grandson's getting ready to start kindergarten, and when he does, they've already my son has already been out to the school district watching what's going on. But this is the Scottsdale Unified School District, as it says right there.
I was a third grader at Anasazi, but in a different class than Mrs. Javanette. This teacher created a hostile school environment for kids like me when she didn't like their parents. She would yell at me in the hallway and hurry me along. I also caught her filming me one day. She claimed she was filming field day, but the event was over, and her phone was pointing right at me. At the same time, a neighbor on my street was also filming me while I was outside my home. It was creepy and I felt unsafe. It became so bad that my family had to get a restraining order against my neighbor. At court is when the neighbor revealed a personal email from Mrs. Javanette to my neighbor, thanking my neighbor for protecting teachers against extremists. This is when I found out that Mrs. Javanette and my neighbor were working together. Now Mrs. Javanette had been caught celebrating gun violence and a local hero, Charlie Kirk, being assassinated with her post on social media. How do you allow her to teach third graders? How do parents leave their kids in her class? She's the reason why we and others left Anasazi. Now I hear more are leaving after her recent hateful posts.
Thank you.
A third grader, the third grader's teacher calling the kid an extremist and getting the neighbor involved in recording the kid and sending the recordings while recording the kid and their family and sending the recordings to her so that she can be safe. Oh yeah, Data. Yeah, in Florida, if you want to access porn from Florida, there's only two ways to do it. The first way is the website has to get a copy of your driver's license to show that you're at least 18 years of age. The second way is to have a VPN and say you're from New York or Illinois or Germany or wherever. Almost any state except for Florida and Texas. So that's how you get porn on your in Florida off the internet. Which I don't like the fact that kids can access porn But I don't like the fact that you've got to surrender your driver's license to someone, to a website, if you want to get porn. Yeah. Is there a way to keep children safe without divulging your personal driver's license to to a website that you don't know what's going to happen with your driver's license once they get it? You're you're absolutely right, Digi. Or Digi, you're absolutely right. It's up to the parents to make sure their kids don't have access. See, it used to be, again, when I was working at the convenience store and we had the adult magazines behind the counter, if a 50-year-old man came in asking for a Playboy or a Penthouse, I just gave it to him. I didn't ID him. I only ID'd the person if they looked like they were young enough. I'd have to ID them for cigarettes, and I ID'd them for porn. That's the way that was the way I dealt with it. If I couldn't sell you cigarettes or alcohol without your ID, then I couldn't sell you porn without your ID. No, common sense. I mean, you walk in and you're obviously in your 30s or your 40s. Why in the world would I have to ID you? Now, I did that, Ramen, and my son, he didn't hate it until he got in his later teens, when he wanted to get on the computer in his bedroom with his friends and play computer games, call it. And I mean, I wouldn't even hook up his Xbox or PlayStation. He had both to the internet until I was certain that he couldn't, that the only thing he could access was the Microsoft or, the Xbox site and the PlayStation site. The computer, though, the main computer was sitting in the living room. But that was back in the days when everybody's computer, when most people didn't have laptops. You couldn't afford a laptop. A home system was the best way to go. You went down to the Gateway store. Remember Gateway? Stores painted black and white like a cow. You went into Gateway and you bought a computer from them. Or you went to the computer store and bought a computer. And it was a home unit. It wasn't a laptop. It wasn't a portable system. So, and my son's first phone that I got him, he could text with it, but he couldn't take pictures, and obviously he couldn't send pictures. I got him the dumbest flip phone that I could get him that still worked on our system, which was Altel at the time. Got him the dumbest cell, and then we let him have it when he was going out to play with his friends, and they were going to be away from the house, or when he went on school trips. That way he could call us or text us when they were getting back close enough to the schools that we needed to be to get to the school to pick them up. Good Lord, Ramen. Oh, did you? What was that about the teacher? The teacher evidently thought that this kid's family was a right wing extremist group and very dangerous. So she had one of the neighbors recording them and sending the videos to her so she could compile information against the family. And obviously, she treated the kid very poorly in class. Uh, that kind of teacher should never be allowed in a school. But unfortunately, that kind of teacher gets in there all the time or way too often. So, yeah, it's dangerous regardless of what's going on anymore. Because you don't know. When I say dangerous, I mean it's the not the kids are going to get physically hurt. But then again, thinking back at it, I had teachers that didn't like me when I was in school because I didn't know when to shut up or I corrected them. You got your facts wrong on this, teacher. Yes, I was that kid. Uh, I was that kid that had my nose in the books. You know, I would read the entire week's worth of material over the weekend, and when we were supposed to be reading in class, I had my Heinlein book or my Asimov book stuck inside of my especially my history book or my social studies book. And I'd be reading Isaac or Heinlein. I Me not doing a visual of myself. Why don't I do it? It started off I didn't do it because of my, being active duty military. Then over the past 2 years, I haven't gotten anything this year. But 2 years ago, I got what I considered some fairly serious threatening emails. Serious enough. And remember, this is when what the hell do they call it now? Where they call the cops on your house saying that you're holding people hostage or you're threatening to kill your family. I hate it when I can't remember what a term like that. But 2 years ago, when that crap was going on, and I was getting some pretty threatening emails and DMs, it's like, okay, I really don't want somebody to know who in the hell I am. I'm sure I've screwed up enough times that if somebody went back through all my videos, they could piece together enough information to find out who I am. And I mean, you guys that are watching today and retro and old guy, you know, y'all don't scare me. I'm not concerned about you guys. But back 2 years ago, before and that's why I took that 3 month break from streaming. Because I got legitimately concerned that I was going to get become a target of having the cops called out to my house or out to my work site and have some serious problems, which I did not want. Swatting, thank you, Raman. I did not want to be the subject of the swatting effort. Now, the people that I think that would have done it are to my knowledge, they no longer even come to the stream, which is perfectly fine. But that doesn't mean that just because they don't come to the live stream, that doesn't mean they don't go to the videos that I upload, that I leave uploaded to YouTube or that I upload over to Rumble. So that's why I don't do a face reveal. Because I don't want them coming after me. I don't want them to come after my family. I don't want them to come after my son or my grandchildren. Just because of my politics. Just because I've made somebody mad. Just because I disagree with them. Just because I think they're an asshole. You know? Threats in themselves don't scare me for my safety. It's the threats that scare me for my family's safety. That's what I'm more concerned about. So, anyway, let's watch some stupid stuff here, okay? That I think is funny as hell. I really and truly do. My wife doesn't get the humor. She doesn't think it's funny, but because it is kind of slapstickish. This is one of two guys that I watch, or one of two different groups of people that I watch simply because it's funny. At least I find it funny. Whether you guys will or not, that's up to y'all. Do you see that bruise that popped up on his leg there? Look at that bruise that's already hit there on his thigh. It's shown up on mine, Ramen. I don't. Yeah, it's on my screen just fine. That's it. That's a you problem, not a me problem. Yeah. Yes, Paul. He is going to feel that with every step. Let's see. Where is okay? Da 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 da. Come on, pop up. Thank you. Here's another one. The same two people. Well, same three people. That is these. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're Japanese, if Chinese, or what. Don't know, and I'm not. I don't particularly care. I just think they're funny. If you'll know, whenever they've got this black powder in their mouth, and whenever they release the powder, they go over and get a knuckle. The other person gets a him in the head with their knuckles. I know this is so stupid. It's not even. But this is Three Stooges type of stuff going on. Oh, I know, guys. These things, I shouldn't be laughing at them. They're, but they are. I mean, the bruises that these people have. If you go to these sites, if you can find them, and you go to these sites, they are brutal. There's one particular site where they put on like these alien masks, and they got the uh, duck horns, duck sounds things in their mouths instead of the black powder. And they've got like a bow that they pull back on the string and let the string hit them across their back or across their chest. This couple here, they got one with a giant whip, and she gets rather vicious with that whip when she nails him with it. If you like those videos, I'll find them and find some more of them. We'll play them on occasion. Slapstick, exactly, Paul. I mean, a more painful version of the Three Stooges. And I still get a kick out of the Three Stooges. And my wife absolutely hates me when she comes home and I've been watching the Three Stooges, especially if I've still got them on when she walks in the door. Because sometimes I'll forget to shut it off. But anyway, guys, I watched I watched way too much of the No Kings protests that went on this weekend. Most of them were like that one kid. They had no clue what was going on except that they were out there with their friends because their friends said Donald Trump sucked. So since their friends and their teachers say Donald Trump sucked, then he has to suck, even though they don't know why. Now, I would say that probably makes up about a third of the people that were out there. Another third were probably paid protesters. So, they got bussed in. And are you really a protester if you're coming in on trailsways? And that trailways bus you've got is full of other people going to the same spot, and you go to the back of a U-Haul or Penske truck and get your signs, your handmade in quotations signs to go to to carry at the protest. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. I will be back tomorrow, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Everybody, y'all have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. As always, be with the ones you love and love the ones that you are with. And we'll see you tomorrow.